Hello and welcome. आप देख रहे हैं markets today, and this is where we discuss everything about the stock markets closing action. Also to help you with what really has happened through the day's trade today, where were the gains seen, where were the losses being seen, the sectors, the stocks in focus, all the news that really impacted the market's movement, and what can you expect going forward tomorrow. All of that will be coming up over the next 4 to 5 minutes. So do stay tuned on to with me. And first up, let's start off with the closing action first. Well, it's the fourth consecutive session when the markets have actually ended on a negative note. The Sensex, in fact, has ended on a negative note. If you see, the frontline indices have extended this decline as the global mood also has turned cautious among a 40-year high inflation in the US. Market watchers are expecting US Fed to further raise some rates as much as 100 basis points in the July meeting as well. The US Fed has been consistently raising rates over the many past months on an every month basis as well. And despite a decline in the Brent crude prices, which is now at a 3 month low, all of that also could not lift the sentiments in today's trading session, which was also a weekly FNO expiry session. The Sensex today ended almost 100 points lower, or 0.2% in trade, to close the day at 53,416. The Nifty also, if you talk about, the index closed at 15,939, down 28 odd points. The broader markets, the mid and the small caps also slipped. They in fact underperformed the benchmark indices by falling 0.5% in trade today. How are the stocks trading? So Axis Bank, HCL Technologies, SBI, Tech Mahindra, TCS, Wipro, Infosys, and even Ultratech Cement. These were the top large cap laggards. So you're actually seeing the big heavyweight stocks dragging the overall sentiments. On the other hand, Varun Beverages, Oil India, Canara Bank, Mindtree, Birlasoft, Ajmera Realty were also all top draggers on the mid cap index as well, the broader markets as well. Sectorally speaking, it was the Nifty PSU Bank Index that declined the most, 2% odd. Nifty IT was a big drag, 1.4% it fell. On the upside, Nifty Pharma tried to lift the sentiment or stem the fall in the markets by rising almost 0.8% as well. Most of the experts still believe that the Nifty has corrected towards the lower band of the rising channel before closing a bit off the day's low. On the daily charts, experts believe that the index has remained below the important moving averages as well. So that's going to be an important factor to look at as far as the market is concerned. We already know that the higher than expected US inflation of 9% odd is definitely a big dampener for the street. We've seen the rupee close at a record low of 79.88. Remember, rupee had also hit the 80 per dollar mark earlier in the session today too. So we've seen that 80 level mark getting crossed as well. However, there were some stocks here and there that actually reacted positively on news flows. It was not all gloom and doom. Hindustan Zinc, for example, it surged 4% today as the board has approved a dividend of 21 rupees per share. So there were here and there some stocks that was definitely in focus, like Sanofi from the broader markets. That was up by 1%. It's going to consider a special dividend. So all those dividend announcements are keeping some stocks moving. BSE Oil and Gas Index moved up 1.7% as the government may consider lowering the windfall fuel tax tomorrow. So that's been some news flow impacting the oil and gas segment, which has been from the last 2 days. It's been a big drag on the sentiments. Of course, we've seen pharma, auto, and oil and gas back really defy the trend today. However, PSU banks and the IT sector, these were the big drags and the big losers in today's trading session. As we go forward from here, what's going to be important for the markets to track? Well, it's going to be, of course, the US markets movement tonight, the global markets, Asian markets movement also, how the crude oil prices really move from here on. What do the individual earnings, talk about as well? We have seen that the WPI and the CPI back home also is a big problem right now. So that may be a big factor to consider as far as the RBI's rate hikes are concerned. So that will be very important to track as we move forward from here too. All in all, the major indices, Sensex, Nifty, and the Nifty Bank dragged the street today, and PSU banks and also the IT sector. These were the big downside movements that we actually saw. Most of the experts do believe that this is the time when you need to be extremely stock specific in the markets, because the markets are still not on a very solid footing. It's a very sticky wicket that you are actually at. So keep keep all those points in mind if you're a trader. As an investor, experts do believe that, if you have a list of stocks that you have for the long term in your vision, keep adding and accumulating those stocks on dips, so that in the long term you can actually take the benefit of these dips and these volatile turns in the markets. Overall speaking, that's another very volatile session that we actually saw in the markets today. Let's keep our fingers crossed and see some kind of a bounce tomorrow on the back of course, the global markets. That will be very, very key to important to find out how the global markets perform tomorrow, to be able to trickle in, the Indian market movement as well. Thanks a lot for tuning in for now, but we'll keep you posted with everything that's passing on the day street. So don't forget to stay tuned onto Business Today TV.